Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the gentleman from Oklahoma for his leadership and for his passion. This is one of those areas that, quite frankly, as we look at unfunded mandates, that is taking the power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to the elected officials in our states, our county governments, and our cities. The gentleman from Virginia from the other side earlier said that certainly he supported this when he was a local official elected there in Virginia. And rightfully so, because I can share a personal story, Mr. Speaker, from a Senator Jim Davis from my home state, who was a county commissioner and now a state senator. And I asked him, why do you have such a hard time balancing the budget here in the state? And he gave me two words: unfunded mandates. And why is that? Because we continue to pass regulation after regulation after regulation, send them down to the states, ask the states to deal with them. The states say, well, we don't have money to implement this. They send it even further to the county government. So what happens is property taxes go up at the local level, state income taxes go up there, all because we believe that we know what is best here in Washington, D.C. on how to implement rules and regulations. Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that during the first term of the Obama administration, we saw a 10% increase in regulatory budgets. Now, that's a 10% increase in regulatory budgets when the average American hardworking taxpayer saw their budgets go down. There's something wrong with this, Mr. Speaker, and as we start to look at that, there was a study in 2011. A study in 2011 that said with each 5% reduction in regulatory process, you can create 1.2 million jobs. Well, Mr. Speaker, we have a problem with creating jobs here, and this is a common sense solution to rein in what is happening here in Washington, D.C., and allow that control to go back to the states and local governments. So the bottom line, Mr. Speaker, is this. To vote against this is a vote that says that we know better how to do business here in Washington, D.C. than the elected officials in state and county and local governments. I can tell you the best decisions are made at those local and state levels. I think it's high time that we come back and roll it back in this simple process to make sure that these regulatory reforms and the unfunded mandates that accompany them truly are not a burden on those hardworking American taxpayers. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Speaker.